Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. It is midnight on Friday, and I'm officially 34 years old. I'm going to spend the day, unfortunately, working, but ending off my day with just watching wrestling like I do all the time. My favorite thing in the world. Now, I did watch Ring of Honor, and I have to say there were some things here that I liked, some things that I didn't like, and I'm going to tell you what was really disappointing. I felt like this episode they tried to kind of lie but not lie about things that's been going on with Athena in Japan. We'll talk about that in a second. We started off with ladies action. We had Trish Adora versus our girl Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron got new theme music. Trish Adora has new theme music as well with STP. They all got a new theme song together. And it's really great. I absolutely love Trish with this group. She comes out with Shane Taylor. Shane Taylor is looking out for our girl. And Harley Cameron comes out alone. It's okay. She don't need no help. Now, Harley Cameron absolutely has improved. And for me, I'm just like, hey, she's improving. She's really putting in the work. She has this really infectious personality that I think a lot of people enjoy. However, I was a little afraid for our girl Trish Adora. It hasn't been exactly what I think it should be for STP since they, came together as a group. There's been some really important losses that they've taken along the way, and for me, I was just like, Trish can't lose this. She can't lose this. Harley Cameron has a match against Mariah May on Collision, and for me, I'm just like, okay, they're gonna have her win this because she don't want to look like a loser going into this match. But I would say, once again, not every time that you lose that you actually look like a loser. So she's absolutely improved. And you can see it here in a match like this with Trish Adora. Trish Adora ends up taking the win, and rightfully so. Sorry, Harley, it just is what it is. She's improved, but she's not quite there yet to take a win against someone like Trish Adora at this point. But still seeing really big things with her that I absolutely enjoy. After this, we see Serpentico get his ass whooped by Blake Christian. Lord, Blake. I didn't even know if we was going to see him again on Ring of Honor, but he's here. Several times throughout the year, they'll call up Blake and say, hey, can you do an episode or two? And he comes on over and he gives us some really great matches. Now, Serpentico is usually the guy that's taking the L's, but he's getting the checks and it cleared. And this is actually a pretty great match. It's not always that he gets out there and takes the L in like 2-3 minutes. This actually turned out to be a pretty great match. And seeing matches like this make me feel like, okay, I wish we can see a little bit more of Serpentico. We haven't seen Angelico for a little bit in the ring. And usually when they're tagging, I would say more often than not, they're taking the win. But this time, Serpentico, not this time, not against Blake. Up next, we have Beef Boulder in singles action against Griff Garrison. And I was just like, oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen him do singles. I can't really remember, but it was interesting. He didn't have none of the other members of the Iron Savages. It was just him solo dolo. But surprise, surprise, Griff Garrison had Cole Carter ringside. You guys remember Cole Carter? He was tagging with Cole for months while they had Maria as their manager. And Cole, he had surgery months ago, and we haven't seen him since. And finally, we're seeing him ringside. And it's great to see, maybe he's not cleared, but at least him being there, knowing that the surgery, perhaps it was successful, was a good thing. Now, I'm just going to say this. I found it funny how now that Adam Copeland, Cope is back, that all of a sudden Griff Garrison is back in the ring, which is interesting because it's, Adam Copeland, he has done an interview really putting over Griff Garrison, and he's even had a match with Griff Garrison on Collision. He handpicked him to go against him. He sees something really bright in his future. And honestly, if they would use this guy, I think a lot of people will also see the same thing too. So I found that interesting that now that Cope is back, Griff Garrison is back in the ring, whatever. I thought he would end up taking the win, but Boulder ends up taking the win. Boulder, I believe, has more experience than Griff. And this is one of those things where Ring of Honor can also be used as a platform for some of these less experienced wrestlers to be able to have more experience, gain that experience, and, keeping some of these wrestlers like Griff away from the ring for whatever reason, I have no clue, is definitely going to hinder their improvement And unfortunately, with things like this, you're watching the show, you're seeing the crowd. The crowd is barely reacting. They don't really know what's going on because these people are just people who are there to see Collision, but now they're seeing Ring of Honor, which most people are not watching. And I wish there was more of a reaction and more reception from this crowd. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Boulder ends up taking the win. Now, here's what got me upset. They were showing our forever ROH champion in Japan. Now, here's the thing. She's in Japan. She started off with a tag team match in Stardom, which her team did win. Now, Wrestle Dynasty, if you didn't see that, I did the review. She was part of the International Women's Cup match, where there was a woman who was representing each promotion. CMLL was for Persephone, and for Stardom it was Momo Watanabe, and then for AEW it was Willow Nightingale as usual. Now, and then obviously Athena for Ring of Honor. It was a great match. The first match on the pre-show, which I couldn't even believe they put this shit out. Oh my God, you know what? Let me not even get into it. It already happened. Whatever. Now, Athena lost. Athena was the one who actually got pinned. This is the first time that she's been, well, is it the first time? This is, you know what? I'm going to have to maybe do a complete video on Athena one day so we can get into the nitty gritty, because there are some things that don't really match up. But anyway, so Athena gets pinned in this match. What happened is Momo's friend, Tekla, she is ringside. She gives a bat to Momo. Momo hits Athena in the back of the head with that bat while the referee is not paying attention. And then Momo ends up pinning our girl Athena for the win. After this, while Athena is doing her interview backstage, Tekla walks in the room, and then Athena's like, bitch, I know you're not coming up in here during my interview time after you gave that bitch the bat to hit me. So then they was about to get into a scuffle. Rocky Romero, all these people over there keeping the girls away from each other. Long story short, on January 13th, they have a one-on-one match for the Ring of Honor women's title. I'll keep you up to date on that. Now, that's what happened. However, Ring of Honor on the Honor Club tonight, instead of saying that, what I just told you, and showing the footage from that and what is leading to, what they end up doing was saying that Athena was in the International Cup match, and then without saying she won, made it look like she won when she hit the O-face on Willow Nightingale. And it for anybody who's watching this would assume that Athena would have won that match based off how they showed it, but not saying that she lost. And I'm watching this and I'm just like, what the hell? Y'all making it seem like something else. Look, I would have loved Athena to win too. But if that's not what happened, you have to show what happened. And then you have to say, hey, this is what's happening now. Because of that, XYZ, she's having a match with Tekla on the 13th. We'll keep you up to date on if she retains or whatever situation is. They did none of that, made it seem like she retained, and then moved on to Billie Starkz versus Brittany Jade. And I could not even believe it. I was just like, oh no, actually wait, hold on. Billie Starkz, yeah, it was Billie Starkz versus Brittany Jade. And I'm just like, wait, how are y'all acting like this? You know what? I don't know. I don't know. You want people to watch? At least tell them what's going on. I understand. If Athena lost with that match, I don't know if that's considered to be part of her Ring of Honor, title reign, her reign as champion or whatever. I don't know if they're going to count it. Whatever situation is, just tell people what the fuck happened. That's what happened. And then move on. And for whatever reason, I didn't like the way that it seemed like they were trying to deceive the fans, because they know that because they did not promote Wrestle Dynasty, that these motherfuckers don't know what's going on. But if you come over here to Wrestle Tati, I will let you know what happened, as usual. All right, so we had Billie Starkz versus Brittany Jade. It was Billie ends up winning. Queen Aminata versus Rachel Ellering. I've always tried to support everybody, because they all in the ring doing shit that I can't do. But for me, it's just like, Rachel Ellering, what is happening here? Something about her is just I don't see people connecting with. And there is a lack of personality in the ring. There is a lack of style, things to just set her apart from everyone else. And I think that there is something that set her apart from everyone else, and it's not a good thing. And it's because of the lack of those things that she's set apart from everyone else. And then being in the ring with someone like Queen Aminata, who's full of personality, those things shows a lot with her. So for me, I just can't get behind her, even though I would like to, but I don't. Queen Aminata ends up taking the win, and even after headbutting Rachel Ellering, Rachel out there being attended to by the doctors, and I'm like, girl, you cannot just be headbutting Africans and thinking that it's just gonna be peaches and cream. Your hair's gonna be hurting. So they checked up on her for a minute. Queen Aminata went to go check to see if she alright, and then she ends up leaving. Very interesting. After this, we do get our classic match, a classic women's match, and for me, it's just like whatever. I don't know, whatever. They didn't actually show the whole thing, which is very interesting, because typically they show the whole thing. You can just tell where they're cut parts of the match and then move on to another scene of the match, and I'm just like, ow, very interesting. I actually don't remember them doing that with any other classic match, but whatever, y'all take it for what y'all want. After this, we do have QT Marshall, who was doing a promo on fucking Commander. He and Commander had a Proving Grounds match last week, and QT defied the odds, and he lasts the whole 10 minutes. You last the whole 10 minutes, you get a chance to go for the title in a future date. So now next week he's going against Commander for the Ring of Honor TV title. Now, Commander, we like you and everything, but if QT won, I'm not mad at it. I do prefer heels, and maybe I'm a little bit biased because QT's a heel. He don't really do it for me, but I think that at times he can be slightly, a little bit entertaining. So I'll take it over Commander. We haven't really seen much of Commander since he's won that title, but I guess we can give him a little bit of time to see what the fuck happens with that. We also had a Proving Grounds match with Red Velvet versus Jasmine Howe. I don't believe I've ever seen her in Ring of Honor. I don't think I've ever seen her before. But y'all know how that goes. Whenever they just bring local talent, it's not going to be pretty. So obviously, Red Velvet ends up taking the win. She's now wearing complete black and red gear, and it really goes well with that red title. Oh my God, the Ring of Honor TV women's title is just so pretty because it's red, and it's different from all the other titles because of that color, and I really do like it. So she's looking real good with that, and I'm loving the fact that she's a heel right now. That definitely is bringing out more personality and a little bit more aggression from her in the ring, and I absolutely love that. After this, we have the best match of the night, and the only one I think actually worth sitting through. Shane Taylor teaming up with Lee Moriarty against the Gates of Agony. Holy shit. The chemistry was on point, and this was fun, but very competitive at the same time. Shane and Lee, I haven't seen them tag in quite some time, and their chemistry is absolutely on fire. Obviously, Gates of Agony, they've been tagging for definitely about 2 years or so, and they just was amazing. Toa Liona, Shane Taylor, they've been losing weight, so you see they're slimming down, but we still giving the meat chance. They're still meaty men, but they have been definitely taking care of their health, and you can see in the ring that they have definitely slimmed down. Bishop Khan, Lord have mercy, oh my God, that man is so beautiful. For me, I do like both of these teams. I feel like Gates of Agony, like, I don't know why they're not getting enough TV time. What the fuck is going on with that? Shane Taylor and Lee, because of the whole STP thing going on right now, and them being a faction, I feel like they really needed to win something like this. And not just this, but like they need to be winning a whole bunch of series of matches, because that we need to get some more oomph for this team. Because you know what, I feel like at some point maybe it's possible that they can get lost in the shuffle, and at this point, even early on with this group, they need to make a huge statement. This is why I've been wondering where the fuck are the Von Erichs and these 6-man tag titles, because a team like SCP could be holding that shit right now. Now, as competitive as this was, I think SCP knew that Gates of Agony, with them having so much experience teaming with each other, that this wasn't going to be an easy win for them. So they did have the infantry who came up out of the blue. So first, Trish Adora came and distracted the referee, and then here is Shawn and Carly who comes out and ends up beating up on Bishop Khan. Bishop Khan, oh my God, Bishop Khan don't deserve this. Oh, and I forgot, Shane Taylor actually knocks out Bishop Khan. I don't know if this was supposed to happen, but rather than the ref just checking on him, just be like, you know what, let's ring the bell, that shit is over. Shane Taylor's end up picking him up until he gains the strength to fucking continue. Whatever that situation was, that punch was deadly. I would hate to be punched in the face by Shane Taylor. Whatever. Now, obviously, the infantry, they get involved, and because of them getting involved and hurting Bishop Khan, who didn't deserve it, they end up taking the win. This was a really great win, and also a great display of showing that these guys, these used to be baby faces that everybody was loving, are now officially heels, and they're doing a really great job at it. And I absolutely love this match. One of the best matches that I've seen this week after watching Raw and all that shit, all the foolishness that happened this week. This is one of the best matches that I've seen this week. Now, this could have been just a perfect way to end the motherfucking show. And instead, we have learning tree time, whatever the hell they call it, with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho comes on out there with Brian Keith, okay? And they're talking shit about Rock and Roll Express. Rock and Roll Express come out there. They get a huge pop from the crowd. Were they in North Carolina the other day? Whatever. And they get a huge pop or whatnot. And they get into back and forth on a fucking promo with Chris Jericho, and I'm just like, y'all better not end the show like this. And not only did they finish to do the little arguments talking about, oh, back in the 80s you used to bully me, blah blah blah. Chris Jericho, we don't give a fuck what happened in the 80s. We don't care. And all this stuff that made no sense. And then they end up getting into a scuffle, and for whatever reason, Brian Keith and Chris Jericho ends up retreating from Rock and Roll Express, the ones that just got kidnapped by fucking Death Riders. What the hell is going on here? And then that's how they end the show. I don't know why they feel like Chris Jericho is going to save Ring of Honor. I don't even see how he's helping in any way, shape, or form. There is nothing. There is nothing with Chris Jericho holding that title. I really do feel like, you know what? I don't even know what words to really put here, but it's just not helping. If we could have been building someone from the get-go, it was supposed to be Shane Taylor that was supposed to be feuding with Mark Briscoe. If y'all going to take the title off of Mark Briscoe, y'all could have put it on Shane Taylor, and I think that would have made a huge difference for somebody who's been consistently on Ring of Honor, instead of Chris Jericho, who got just handed out titles to, and he's not making a difference at all. You end the show with you running away from Rock and Roll Express. How old is fucking Ricky and Robert for y'all to be running from them? They're like, what, in their 70s or some shit? It doesn't make any sense. Not entertaining to me at all. They were just giving something to the crowd to do right before they left, and honestly, I don't see how this pertains to Ring of Honor at all. I am so fucking over this shit. This Chris Jericho thing, y'all need to just revamp the whole thing when it comes to Ring of Honor. I don't think there's enough minds back there putting brain cells together to come up with what to do with this promotion. And I would love to see it continue, but I don't know what the fuck is going to happen if y'all continue at this route. Now, as upset as I was about this, they actually did have like a 15-20 minute documentary on Nigel McGuinness and what he's been up to as of late since he's been back in the ring. And I thought that it really washed the whole stank of Chris Jericho. So it made it just brightened up the moment to see Nigel and other Ring of Honor wrestlers talking about Nigel's career, and you know, that moment where he ended up coming back to wrestling, which is him going, not just doing commentary, but also being at All In. They show behind the scene footage of that. They also show behind the scene footage of him having that match with Danielson when they were in New York, and I really, really loved it. I thought it was done really, really nicely. Could have been a little bit longer. We could have put a little bit more thing into it, but I thought it was done really nicely for something that was about 15-20 minutes. I don't know, I was counting. And like I said, with that coming on after the whole Chris Jericho foolishness, I think it was a nice way to end off the show. You guys, I do appreciate everyone watching. Sometimes you know, as much as I love doing the reviews, talking about wrestling, I appreciate y'all watching and supporting. Sometimes this shit is so fucking hard to sit through. And I can't blame it on the wrestlers because they come out there and do what they're supposed to do. And the show as a whole doesn't have a direction. And we need to work on that in 2025. Y'all should have been working on that since you bought the damn company. You know, we're almost at 100 episodes of Ring of Honor. Today was episode 98. So 100 weeks of weekly shows, close to, and we still don't have a clear direction on where this promotion is going. And honestly, that's not a good thing at all, especially if you're trying to get a TV deal. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back. Oh shit, I was about to say for Rampage. I'm still trying to figure this shit out. We'll remember at some point that Rampage was a thing of the past. I will be back on Saturday with a review on Collision and New Japan Battle in the Valley as well. See you guys then. Bye.